Well, hello, everybody.
Hello. On this
It is
Women's
Wednesday night.
Wednesday.
Tis 7 p.m. on the dot, and we are the number one female-only podcast talking everything sports from a woman's perspective. Welcome to the A-Team, guys. My name is Amber.
And I am Amanda. Hi, everybody.
I feel like we've swapped.
We swapped.
Yeah. You've gone darker. I've gone lighter. The hair, honey, the hair.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, I did. I did. I did get my hair done today. I look a little different today. Yes.
It looks good. I like it.
Hey, women embracing change embracing women, and that's just what we do. So, and I do know a little something about hair, because I am a hairstylist. But yes, I did have time for myself today. It was very nice to be able to go get my hair done. So yeah. Yes.
Nice.
But enough about my hair, because we have an amazing show tonight, everybody. Yes, we have Mr. Manny Matsakis on tonight, and he is the general manager and head coach of the Ohio Valley Ironmen, which we've been talking a lot about Continental Football League coming around lately. We are officially 2 months away from the May kickoff of the Continental Football League, and the Ironmen are standing tall as a flagship franchise. They aren't just bringing football back to Monarch Stadium. They're bringing an offense revolution with a triple shoot and brand new rule book that's going to keep every fan in the fourth quarter on the edge of their seat, everybody. So, without further ado, let's bring on Manny Matsakis. Here he is. Hi, Manny.
Hello. How are we doing, ladies?
Welcome, man. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Fun.
So you have a lot going on, Manny.
I like that you pronounce my last name correctly. Not everybody does that. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Really? What's wrong with Matsakis?
Nah, butcher it. You never know. It's Greek, so so it's
Hey. So Manny, tell us a little bit about yourself and about the Continental Football League.
Yeah, well, myself, just the elevator pitch. I've been coaching for over 30 years. Been a head coach 5 times. I grew up right here where I coach in the Ohio Valley, and that's like about an hour west of Pittsburgh, in an area near Wheeling, West Virginia, sort of the hub city there. And I think just being from here, football is like a really big deal, and a lot of our communities around here, they basically shut down. They get things going on Friday nights during the fall. So for myself, it's an honor to coach the Ironmen, because I don't know if you all knew this, but we were once in the 1960s, not just in the original Continental Football League, we were also in the original UFL, and we won the UFL the first 2 years of it, and then we got into the Continental Football League, and we have some legendary players that came from here. We were originally called the Wheeling Ironmen, and then we became the Ohio Valley Ironmen in 1968. So that's the name we took over in transition. So just coming back here has been a blessing. Came back to take care of my father about 5 years ago, and he used to tell me Ironman stories. It's crazy. I think about this. You can go in the Ohio Valley here, and you see old Ironman remakes of T-shirts, the Wheeling Ironman, all this stuff, and it's it was such a historic deal to bring this back. And last year we did, and we were pretty fortunate. We were, I guess, undefeated, unscored upon, which I've never been through this. So that was very unique. So that's my story.
Yeah, undefeated is right. Okay, Amber, go ahead.
Man, it's It's the variety that you carry. You've got such a plethora of knowledge, such a deep well that people can tap into. And I kind of looked at records and the different accomplishments that you've had, as a kicker in the NFL. But I gotta tell you, the one that impressed me the most, and you're gonna laugh when I say it, is your oldest record. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's my oldest record. I don't even know.
What? Since 1981, guys,
Oh yeah.
this has been a man who has held the longest field goal for what, 50 years, right?
It's been a while.
400 yards.
Yeah, it's a thing. I don't even remember this. I do have a game ball somewhere around here with the numbers on it, but yeah, I've been so into coaching and trying to really help players, move on and get opportunities, because it's something I wish I would have had. Because
Right.
when I was let go, Philadelphia Eagles and then the Indianapolis Colts, it was one of those things. It's like there were no other opportunities back then, and it was just had you had a chance to keep just keep getting better, you could possibly get back in the league and all that. But it's been a lot of fun. I love the game. I've been very fortunate to have been doing this for a long time.
So I want to ask you, the COFL has a clear focus on younger talent, right?
Mhm.
When you're evaluating players, what specific traits and mindsets are you looking for them on the field?
Yeah, well, here's what I do. I'm extremely loyal to players that I trust, that have paid the price and so forth. Um, so we're fortunate we had a team last year, right? And then I started thinking, okay, how do I work with the roster management rules of the Continental Football League? Because what's different now is, um, of your 40 active players, 25 of them must be between the ages of 27 or younger. Now, that only gives you 15 guys that could be older, and so you have to be really alert to that. The other thing is you have to have at least 5 players that played high school football in your region, and since I'm in a much smaller community, I mean, you guys know in Texas, I mean, you're talking San Antonio, up in Austin at Pflugerville, you got Fort Worth now, and then you've got Midland. I mean, they're way bigger areas than where I am. So for them, it's like within 30 miles, they have to find high school players. I get about 90 miles. So I can, because it's just where we're at. It's coal mining region and all that. So you've got to have those local players. And I love that because those guys bring a lot to the table. So as I'm evaluating players, and I guess, Amanda, I look at on a regular basis, probably a dozen players a night for the last 4 months. It's just constantly looking at guys to find them. And then it's a bit of a funnel. You're finding the good players, you like the video, and then the next thing you're doing is you're coming in and saying, okay, does he fit our system? Could he be, is it to the point where I can have a phone conversation and see if he fits our culture? That's been the key. There are guys playing in this league right now that didn't fit the culture of the Ironmen. And that doesn't mean they're not great players. I will tell you that it's one of those things that I care about the person above everything else, and our players are really tight. So there's other players we've actually sent to other teams in the league, and because they didn't fit the small town community, what's going on doesn't mean they wouldn't be fantastic, but there's a lot of football players out there. So I screen them really well, and some people are always surprised, like, why are you sending us this player? Well, it's not that. It's just he's a better fit for you than me. Simple as that. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I gotta say
Absolutely.
that's one of the phenomenal things that I did notice about you as a coach is you're not just coaching and scouting for yourself, you're coaching and scouting for these individuals to see how they do best fit and where they best fit.
Mm.
Have you ever come across one that just you couldn't find a spot? How did you handle that?
I've been fortunate. It doesn't happen if I know a guy's a really good player because I've been coaching for 30 some years, and I've been fortunate to help these guys out. I don't run into that very much, unless it's like, I mean, Amber, if it's like really late in the process and people are full and I can't get them in, then it's too late. But fortunately, we still have 2 months to go before we play, so there'll be some guys I can push to other teams.
So the Ironman name carries
Yes.
a lot of weight, right? From the 1960s.
Sure.
How are you going to balance that old grit name to today with the high speed brand moving forward?
Yeah, and that is interesting because I mean, as a kid, believe it or not, I went to Ironman games. I was like 7 years old, and I can still remember going to these games, and it was a lot of the players back then, Amanda. They were school teachers, coal miners, steel mill workers, and then they practice at night, and then they play on the weekends. And then if a Steeler would get injured, because they played in the fall back then they would bring an Ironman up to play for that next game, and then he'd come back down. So it was a pretty neat deal. And just, I know the game has evolved, but people love entertainment, and football is here arguably the most entertaining sport. Where I always kid, like in my little town that I live in is like maybe, I don't know, 3,500 people, not a lot, but there's 3,000 people at the Friday night football game.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're all there, so
Mm-hmm.
if we're ever away playing, if you want to rob this town, wait when the team is on the road playing somebody else, because there's nobody here. Police,
Mm-hmm.
they'd rather be at the game watching the kids play. So it's like, so I think football has evolved. All my career as a coach, it's always been very high octane offense, never huddling, pressing like a full court press style, always doing that. And that's all I really know. So it's like you got to coach what you know, and you recruit players that fit your system. So I think hopefully, this is a much higher level than where we played last year. So it's like we've got our work to do, because I'm seeing like what the San Antonio Toros, who they're signing. I'm noticing some of these guys I'm seeing it up in Michigan, and now Hal Mummy at Indianapolis, and what Cincinnati is doing. I mean, they're all these teams. And then I think about what's going on in Midland, right? Because that's great football. I coach at Texas Tech, so I know something's going to happen out there. So I know it's going to be super competitive. But you know what? I think that's what our fans want. They want to come out and watch these kids in a competitive game. So that's where we're headed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of these kids, I know that 2025 roster was actually pretty stacked. Are any of those key players going to be on the same roster for the 2026 season?
Yeah, a lot of them are, and I most all the guys that fit the roster management for us, we were fortunate to sign a couple of them. I was not able to sign because they went to play in Europe, and that was something they wanted to do, and there's no problem with that. I think the awesome thing for us is you look at all these teams in this league. I mean, you've got great coaches that care about the players, owners that really are doing this for the good of the game. And so we're all helping each other. So I don't see anything that is going to come across as anything other than genuine. And I think I was on a show. I think it was a Spurge and those guys. We actually made the name the People's League on that show, which I thought it just came. It was like organic the way it showed up. And it's like, we use it now. Right. So that was months ago when we first got this started. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Absolutely. So today, some logo things came out. And so
Right.
I just want to put this up here real quick, Manny, and talk about the exciting change in logo and what that means for you from then till now.
Okay. So when you're looking at where it says Wheeling Ironman, if you just look at that guy's face and the hard hat, that's what we took into the future for us now. All right, so you can see how that builds. Now, what, as we mentioned earlier, the Steelers being a farm team for the Steelers. What's interesting is that Art Rooney, the original owner of the Steelers, was best friends with the owner of the Wheeling Ironmen. Okay, so they used to gamble together here in Wheeling Island, where the casinos are. So I mean, we're like right in the middle of all this, and so Rooney needed a farm team. His buddy, who was a construction worker in the area, said, "Yeah, I can do this for you." So the Steelers gave them all their uniforms and helmets and all that stuff. So they supplied the Ironmen with, a pretty big cost for an independent team like this. And then, so that's why you see the yellow, the Steeler yellow and black look there. And then now, I came in, I said, okay, what does that guy really look like? So when we created that logo a little over a year ago, I said, let's pull that out. Let's make it a little more edgy. Let's put those glasses on that they wear in the iron workers wear, that protect their eyes and everything. And it just sort of popped. I mean, people liked it, said, oh, that's pretty cool. And those two sledgehammers for Ironman. We just thought that was more for today. It does have that silver and black, like Raiders vibe to it, I think.
Right.
But I think and that wasn't by design. It's just like, oh, that just looks cool. And we actually polled people in the area, and they said, I love that guy, and we need to get a mascot that looks like that. We haven't done that yet, but maybe this year.
And I want you to talk about this one real quick for us too, and the change in logo and how substantial of a thing this is for you with your role in this league.
Yeah. It is, you look at it, you can say, oh, okay, that's an easy evolution, right? You can see in 1965, when that logo at the bottom came out, okay, that was what it was like back then. Remember, they didn't have computers and AI and all the different things you can like ask questions and figure out. So what we did here, my chief of staff, Carrie Copley is her name. She's she's been a professor of marketing and has her doctorate in all that. And she's fantastic. So I said, take a look at this. We're getting ready. I'm talking like I'm in Texas. We're fixing to. All right. So this was my days in Lubbock. And so I said, take this, modernize it for today, but I still want to have the same feel, the same oh, this can be big. We want to expand the league over time. So she came up with that. I give her all the credit. We took the right colors. We did the tests, and that brand you see at the very top there, I think represents us really well. It's a shield, basically. The NFL has a shield. We have a shield. And I think that's something that works nicely.
And it's very modern and very contemporary at the same time too.
Right. Anyway. Yeah. I look at the old one and I think of, when you're pledging allegiance to the flag, what is that happy little knob that's sitting up there? And sometimes they've got that exact.
Right. You're totally right. And what's, as you say that, it's like I can picture that.
Now you can picture it. Exactly.
All right, I get it. And I'm thinking, because back in those days, I'm thinking this 1965. So they must have had somebody with a pencil, crayons, sort of create this, and they say this is what it is, and then they put it on shirts and stuff. So I just look at it's technology has changed it, and we have that now. We didn't put the football in, but it says football league, and we didn't think we needed it,
Right.
But talk about how exciting, seeing the evolution of all of these is so special. And very modernized, very today. Yeah. Especially this, I have to say, this is one of my favorites.
You like the arrows?
I'm sorry, Manny. I'm sorry.
I like it too. It's fantastic. I get it. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the most improved.
Yes, I would say so. And, we were looking at a few different options there. Part of it, like, what colors do you want? Then you brand it and all that. Yeah, I think it looks great. I think it's going to sell like crazy when they put their shop up next month. And people love it. And even this, I thought the Braves did a really nice job because they took the concept of, okay, I get it. Back in the 60s, it was different, right? You had the American Indians and all that. And I don't know that even that look. Now, I remember I'm thinking, how did they do this? Probably with crayons and pencils, right? So that's what they were doing. And it was just a different time back then. Now, how can we take that fiery energy of Native Americans and bring it into something? Well, that horse right there for the Braves, just the way the feathers are, just the look. I mean, I have people that are saying that's their favorite logo. So it's pretty neat.
It reminds me of the Broncos too much.
Oh, stop.
Oh man. What about the Toros, Manny? What's your thoughts on that one?
I like that one too. It's very similar to the original one. You can see how that came through there. I think that when they came up with that, they really wanted to honor the colors and the brand because they played, the ones you're showing me now all played in the Continental Football League in the 60s. So I think those are, I think people like it. It's got a little Chicago Bulls to it, maybe for me,
Well,
but
so the thing that caught my attention to it is the top of the head. If you look at the top of the head, it is actually the exact same shape as the Alamo Mission in San Antonio.
Spot on.
I was going to say it looked like he got bonked on the head on one of them, and the other one he finally got the bump. Am I terrible?
I feel like they purposefully did that. I think that they did that with the intention of, hey, it is from San Antonio, and there's going to be a spot of it in there, a little bit of our history. So I was happy to see that. As a Texan, it touches the heart.
Oh yeah, I played in the Alamo Bowl before. It's a dome, but I've been to San Antonio many times. Great town, love it, and they deserve a professional football team. They've been sort of jerked around a little bit, right, over the years. I think the Toros are really they're doing a great job. Their head coach was my assistant coach here with the Ironmen,
right?
So we sent him down there and Stan Bedwell, wonderful coach, great guy, and I think he's doing a great job there. I think this weekend they're having a great coaching clinic. They've got their defensive coordinator, who's an Ohio guy, Jerry Glanville, used to coach the Oilers, right?
Right.
And he's down there. They got a bunch of great coaches. They're doing a great job. I would say the thing about that franchise there, that team, is they got started much earlier than some of the other teams, so they're a little bit more ahead. But nice thing is, hey, you can only bring in 50 players to training camp. If soon they're going to run out, and then all those other guys they're going to get later on. And so I'm excited what the syndicate is doing. I think people are going to be shocked because I've looked at some of their players. I think they're doing a wonderful job.
They have brought a powerhouse of players together, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what the coaching staff there has to offer with the talent that they have acquired.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and I look at it this way, Amber. It's like there's so much diversity in our coaching staffs. The only thing we didn't get that I wish we would have gotten was a female coach in the league. But we're going to work on that moving forward. I really want to do that. Are you ready, Amber?
I got you, Manny. I got you.
I just think that it's gotten to the point where we need that. And there are some that I think once we play a season and we get rolling, we will place some really good female coaches in there. So, I mean, as coordinators, there's even a couple I think that could be definitely head coaches. I mean, I see a couple with NFL experience that we have some connections with. So
right.
That's the future because we are expanding, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, bear with me because I'm going to get this back the way that it should be.
Okay. While she's working on that, Manny, Where's the home team stadium going to be this season? Is it in the same place as last year?
No, it is not. And that is the big reveal tomorrow.
I know. I was hoping to get a sneak peek.
Well, I mean, it's not that it is or it isn't. It's like we looked at about 4 stadiums in the area. One fit more than the others. So I mean, I'm not saying that, I've made calls to quite a few, and just needless that we had a great time where we were last year, but there's obviously going to be some changes moving forward, and we just want to do what's best for the Ohio Valley, and so we're making some changes. So tomorrow we plan on announcing some things on a couple radio shows, and then we're going to have a meeting with here. Like actually, newspapers still sell, so that gives you an idea. So we'll be talking to newspaper people and TV stations about all this. So it's coming here over the weekend. So
Man, I was
So
so close.
Manny, I have a fun question for you.
go ahead.
So, who would you say is the most influential and fun person that you have worked with throughout your career?
Oh, that's easy. There's only one. When you say
Easy.
influential and fun, he was best friend. There you go.
No.
Mike Leach.
Seriously.
Mike Leach at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is a guy that I don't know, when he passed away, it was tough for me, and as it was for many. Mike was genius in football, but an even better person. Just cared. I mean, I left him at Texas Tech to be the head coach at Texas State, and down in San Marcos, and we kept in touch for years. I mean, every week we would talk, so it was tough. But Mike is he's an accomplished author, a New York Times bestseller, and he wrote a book on Geronimo. He wrote another book on Swing Your Sword, which I'm in the book, which, was pretty cool, to think that, the people he talks about in there are just people that he cared about. Right. So Mike Leach for sure. Now you'll Google Mike Leach or YouTube search he's got more sound bites than anybody. I mean, he's pretty amazing, but Mike's my favorite in that capacity.
Absolutely.
I wanted to kind of switch gears a little bit, Manny, if you don't mind. Tell us a little bit about the support group that you have, the people that are behind the scenes helping you along and paving the way to make you the phenomenal coach that you are. How's the family?
Oh, family's the family. I mean, I understand. Look, I have 3 younger brothers. I'm the oldest of 4, right? And my mother is amazing, right? I mean, she's 80 years old, and you would never tell. I mean, she's awesome. So I think for any guy that isn't talking about his mom, then we got a problem. All right. Because to me, that's where everything starts. And so she's fantastic. I'm always around. Every day I see my mom, but I live right here in the same town. Okay. So it's one of those things. Now I'm also fortunate that all my brothers are in football. So, my father used to say, "You're number 1," because I was born first. Not that I was the best, but I was number 1. And then number 2 is my brother Jimmy. He is longtime coach in New Jersey. He used to be my defensive coordinator when I was the head coach at Emporia State in Kansas. Great coach. He's been in Jersey. I think he's played for 5 state championships out there. He's a really good coach. And then my third, number 3, is George. And George is not far from Texas. He was actually director of football ops and the assistant AD at North Texas up in Denton. But they did such a good job. He's now moved, and they just bought a house in Stillwater. So he's doing the same job at Oklahoma State. So he's tremendous as well. I mean, they're all good. And then my youngest brother, Louis, has been a long-time football coach. He has administrative capabilities through the roof. I mean, he was at University of Kansas. He was my assistant at Texas State. And on top of that, I mean, he was at the University of Kentucky as special teams coordinator for like 7 years. I mean, they all have different strengths, right? And then, and I've got 3 kids, and it's you're talking about support. That's what's there. We all sort of help each other out, and I've got a lot of friends back here. You come back to where you grew up, and I got some of my best friends are right here, that say, Manny, I get texts like yesterday, it's St. Patrick's Day, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm working the whole time. I got all these things I'm doing, calling meetings, helping teams out. And then one of my best friends, Dr. Georges, he's texting me, says, hey, you need to come out. What are you doing on St. Patrick's? So it's like, so I get those nudges from friends, and I say, all right, I'll go out and do that. But it's good to have support, family, friends. I think that's what it's all about in the end. That's why I'm here.
So on that note, Manny, I want to ask you, because the last time you stepped out on the field, okay, for the Ironman, you have been outscored with outscoring 166 to nothing.
Yeah.
You have a record like that. Okay. So what's it going to be like for you now, stepping back out on that field? Do you have a little, what's the voices telling you, and how are we feeling with that?
The voices tell me that this Continental Football League that I have created, like Frankenstein, is what I'm thinking. We're creating a monster over time, because of all these great coaches, because they're all empowered and they're using the blueprint that we created with the Ironman. It's going to be tough. I mean, no one's going to do what we did a year ago in the Continental Football League. That's just not doable. Too many good players, too many good coaches. And also the Continental shift, that fourth quarter change of rules. I think it's an equalizer if somebody can figure out how to tap into that.
Manny, talk about that Continental shift a little bit. Let's talk about that. Break that down for us, will you?
Certainly. Okay. So here's how it works. The Continental shift came out of the commissioner, Mike Kelly, who coached in the Canadian Football League. He and I coached the U.S. national team in Edmonton, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And so we're up there, and we took the team to a minor league baseball. No, it was minor league basketball is what it was. So we take them to a minor league basketball game, and at the end of the game, all the rules changed. And all of a sudden, the team in Edmonton came back and won because the clock changed. Everything was just wild. Nobody left in the fourth quarter because you didn't know how things were going to turn out. So that when I called Mike, and he's the first person I brought into the league because he has all this great experience in the NFL and Canadian League. I said, we need to do something different. And then he remembered that, and he brought it up. I'm like, okay. So we coach in Canada. Let's flip the script. So here's what the Continental shift does. When it becomes fourth quarter, all of a sudden, instead of 4 downs to get a first down, you only get 3. All right. So now you've got to be thinking throw the ball or big chunk plays. The other thing about it is the offense, instead of a 40-second clock, they're on a 20-second clock. So there's not huddling most likely. So they're going to go really fast. And a few other things, the offense, you can have multiple players in motion at the same time. So you got, let's say, slot receivers, high motion, running full speed into the line of scrimmage. You got the outside receivers can move like this, and even the running backs can move at the line of scrimmage. So you've got potential of 5 guys in motion at the same time. Add to that, the defensive line has to be 1 yard off the ball like they are in Canada. The reason they do that in Canada, most of the offensive line are Canadians, and the defensive line are imports, Americans. So they want to give the offensive line an advantage. So now the O-line has an advantage in pass protection, run schemes, and all that. And if that isn't enough, all of a sudden we have added what's called the rouge, which is they use this in Canada. If a kicker misses a field goal, but it still goes out the back of the end zone, or a punter goes out the back, they get 1 point. And then we added the last little bit of intrigue to this, as we call it, los dos. And this is where a punter, instead of kicking it out of the back of the end zone, if he puts it through the uprights, he gets 2 points. So we're letting the punter actually score more points than is capable at any other level. So that's a snapshot of the Continental shift. We expect chaos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, I love that y'all have included it, because it's bridging the original COFL with this new era of COFL, and it's kind of putting it together and creating that sort of excitement that people don't see when it's the fourth quarter. You'd be down by quite a few, and that fourth quarter could be the exact change that you need to come back and win. I think it's going to just make it more exciting. Of course, the faster play, the differences, dude, that waggle and rook shifting. Oh man, I'm so
we're on top of this, Amber. That is so good.
I'm looking forward to seeing those shift changes. And I've got to say, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that with the more publicity that the Continental Football League gets, the more who knows, maybe some of these roles can get into some of the other leagues and bring for a better product in football as well.
Yeah. You know, we did have a thought, maybe that los dos, when the punter does it. I brought up to Commissioner Kelly, let's just call it the McAfee, the Pat McAfee play, because
I love it.
Punter, right? So you like that? We'll see. Here we go. We might have just created something here. I'll let him know.
Hey, you might be able to get McAfee out here kind of promoting it as a result.
Yes. Yeah. And he's from this area right here. You know, that's he played at West Virginia. He's from the Pittsburgh area. So, you know, that's pretty neat. But and I would tell you one more thing about that Continental shift. I love the National Football League. I love the athletes and all this. But the one thing that is I hate about it is that it's fourth quarter. A team is up by 2 touchdowns, and they're like just slowing the game down. They're a 4-minute offense. Just go slow. Let's get out of here with a win. Now, you can't do that for our deal. You got to put the pedal to the metal and play hard for 4 quarters. So I think that'll make it exciting too.
So, Manny, I want to ask you, with all these other leagues, right, that no matter where they stand as far as the talent goes, okay, do you see the other leagues as competition to you? And what do you gain from also watching them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I would say this. I do not see them as competition, because there's so many football players out there. I think they need many opportunities. So I think that's no competition. In fact, what I'm looking at is there's so many. I mean, think about this. If you're a punter or really an offensive lineman, to be seen at the next level, the Canadian Football League, the UFL, or the NFL, playing outside is the best way to be seen at all positions. I mean, a punter, you don't punt in the indoor game. So even though there's leagues playing inside, it's exciting, but it does for guys that really want to move up and really feel like, hey, I can play in the NFL someday. You need to play outside. And the opportunity that the Continental Football League gives is very simple. I mean, during the summer months in June and July, when we are playing, there's no other outdoor professional football league that plays. It doesn't exist. So we're there at the right time for a player to come in and showcase himself, say, I can get right into an NFL training camp. The Canadian Football League is right at mid-season when they're bringing in free agents in August. So it's like these guys are going to get picked up. And I probably have about, it wouldn't shock me if I have 8 or 9 guys that get picked up and get those opportunities after this season. So that's how it works. So no,
how it works in the world of football.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's definitely an ebb and flow behind all of it for sure. I got to tell you, the fact that we're seeing more and more families go out there in the summertime, watching these young men and their wonderful talents, to see the community that it brings is such an amazing thing to me. I love being able to look at these and go, man, we actually know these players, we actually know these coaches. Like, never thought in a million years I'd be speaking with you, Manny, of all people, and being able to actually have a moment to talk to you about all of this. I want to say thank you so very much for the opportunity. I love everything that COFL has to offer, and I got to say the biggest thing it offers is that sense of community, and you can't match it anywhere else. It's not detached.
Yeah, it's
If
the
that makes sense.
People's League, right? That's what we said. So that's where we're headed to. So I mean, I appreciate that. So we're gonna have a lot of fun moving forward, and you know, come to well, you're not gonna come all the way up here to a game, but you know,
Hey, don't no, never say never. Hey, Manny, and I want to ask you too. You have your own podcast, okay?
Yeah.
You have your own show.
yeah.
I want you to tell us about how important in today's day and age podcasting is to you, and also, to have women behind you in this league.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think we're fortunate. The one thing about the original Continental Football League, they didn't have this type of media. You didn't have shows. All you had was radio and TV. And if you didn't have a contract, you were done. So now everybody, the quality shows rise to the top. And like what you all are doing, I think is fantastic. I think it helps spread the word. No wonder you've been doing this for 4 years. I mean, plus, right? So I'm looking at it as I'm fortunate to have a show. I had to learn some technology to put this StreamYard, together and all that. But it's something I do mostly Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 days a week. I live stream it. We have a YouTube channel. We record it and cut it up. But it's a way to bring fans closer to the Ironman. And I see others. I think the Texas Syndicate doing it now, and others. And San Antonio, there'll be others coming on board to do that as well. I think you have to communicate to your audience. You have to be real, right? I mean, you can produce something and make it fake and people see right through it. So, I mean, hopefully, when we're having these Forging the Ironman shows that we've been doing for a couple years now, it's helping, and I think that with our website, we have a weekly newsletter that we do. And when I go talk to people they see me in the community, hey, I got your last newsletter. And it's like, you just have to be consistent. Podcasting is that way. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to do it for 6 months and then stop and think you're going to show up again. You just have to like, all right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to have fun doing it. Because unless you enjoy it, I mean, we don't do this for the money. I mean, it's more for the experience to meet people. And then eventually, you got a guy down in Austin, Texas, Joe Rogan, who makes a little bit of money podcasting. So it's not a bad gig.
Manny, what are the hours like for you going into this? Like, how do you I mean, obviously there's that saying, there's not enough hours or time in a day, right, to get everything done. How do you manage this, but also be a coach, but also be there for your family?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if somebody would take a day in my life, it would be like, what are you doing? Right. So my mother tells me that's like, you're out of your mind. You're burning the candle at both ends, but you just have to keep going, because I think the energy, because you're chasing a dream, chasing a goal to create a football league that people genuinely enjoy. And I mean, this, for me, all this I'm doing is a legacy project. I want us to be able to talk about this for 10 years. And I think it's going to be awesome. But yeah, there's sleepless. You just wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and like, okay, it's 3 a.m. And a lot of people wake up at 3 a.m., but I end up just going to the office and just working, because sometimes the best ideas I get are at 3 a.m. I have to admit it. That's the craziest thing. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not
You're
sure.
the most rested. You're the most relaxed, I should say, not rested.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I know that I'm fortunate to have friends like we talked about before that get me to get out, go do this and take a day off or at least an afternoon or an evening and just get away and be around people. Because a lot of my time is spent on the phone, computers, and now I'm in like heavy sponsorship mode. So I'm all next week I start and I'm going to start meeting with people to get them on board and sponsor the Ironman to help us, represent the community. So it's a lot of hats, but shoot, I signed up for this. It's not like somebody said you got to do this. I signed up for it.
We're happy you did. Go
I'm
ahead,
glad.
Amber.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm glad that you are wearing all of the hats. And honestly, I couldn't have thought of a better person to have wearing those hats and paving the way between you and the other coaches in the COFL, bringing that history and projecting it for another generation is just a wonderful thing to see and watch, and seeing all of it rebuild again. I'm talking to my dad about this, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I remember," and I'm just, man, it's way better because I'll be honest, ever since the Oilers left Houston, he doesn't do much football anymore.
It's a generational league. It really is. Like, I think it's a generational league that is talked about and has been talked about for generations.
Here we go. Let's have some fun with this. So
Exactly. Manny, before we let you go, because we appreciate you and your time so much, where can people find you? And last bit, what can you tell the fans that they can expect for this season coming up?
well, all right. Where they can find me is go to OhioValleyIronmen.com. That's our website. It's got all the social media and everything right there for you. As far as what to expect this season, I think with being part of the whole rebrand in the Continental Football League, our goal is to make every game a festival environment. The Ironman, we are going to play on Sunday nights because that seems to be the best night if people can get away on the weekends and then come back. They want something to do Sunday nights in the summer. That's when we'll be playing. So we like that. We're looking DJs and DJ the energy in the stadium. We want to build it up as much as possible and play in front of a capacity crowd. So I think that's where we're headed. I think the energy in a great stadium will lead to a wonderful product for people to watch on our stream.
Manny, where can people get tickets also? I wanted to ask that.
So you go to our website. We actually a little different this way. We're not starting to sell our tickets until April 15th. So we wait because what our thing is build the buzz, get out there. But we do sell corporate tickets. So like, let's say somebody, whatever, Joe's Ice Cream Shop wants to get, 4 tickets, season tickets. We sell those in advance. And then when we put it up on April 15th, then a bunch of seats are taken. People have to fit in. So we sell block tickets first, and then we let the general public come in for a month before the players show up. So that'll all be announced with us.
Perfect. Sorry, Amber, go ahead.
No, you're great. I mean, you're like a step ahead. It's like we're simpatico here today. I know that, the tickets aren't going to go on sale until tax day, but your first game, since you're not going to tell us where, man, I was really hoping to edge that one out from you, but please tell us when they can catch the first home game.
Okay. So the first home game will be June 7th. That'll be a Sunday night game. And that'll be our first game. The week prior, we're actually going to be heading up to Michigan to play the Arrows. So that logo you guys love, that'll be our first game. So the Ironmen will go on the road to play that game. Should be fun. They're actually securing their stadium. They've got a couple choices they found up there. So that's something I'm actually working on to help them negotiate their deal. I actually just negotiated the deal for Indianapolis. I was out there, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, meeting with some people. When you see it's awesome where they're going to play, and it'll be so much fun. I think that and now we're doing a press release on Monday or Tuesday for Indianapolis, and where they're going to play. But I mean, that's where we're at. I think so much news is coming out on the league on a week, every single day for the next 2 months. It's the people's league, and we're going to find a way to get to the people so they can enjoy it, and
I love it. I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the best ways to get some of the greatest insights you can is to check out the Manny Matsakis show. Feel free to get it. You like that one?
Oldie but goodie. I
love that one. It's my favorite one. I'm sorry, can't help it.
Yeah.
It definitely catches the personality. No, I mean, I got to tell you, Coach, thank you again so much for sharing insight. And
yeah, he's got to sign it.
I know, right?
We got to do that, Amber.
All right.
Just saying. Well, thank you so much, Manny, for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Y'all take care and have a wonderful weekend coming up. It's almost here. We're over the hump.
Of course. It's almost here. All right, Manny. Take care. Thank you. Bye. He is great.
Amazing guy. Absolutely amazing guy. I got to tell you, I was a little geeked out and starstruck, to be sure. I know that their training camp doesn't start until late May, so I'm looking forward to seeing what all it has to offer for sure. And man, I was really hoping to get that stadium location because they haven't released it. They had been inching it. And I'm like, come on, let it know. That's just me. That's just me.
So I know I just was looking yesterday as far as like seeing all of the old logos. Like I hadn't seen them. So seeing them now, it's really cool, and how everything is so modernized now. It's just very fun. Very fun. All right. You got anything else you want to add onto the show?
Well,
and if you've not followed Continental Football League on your socials, definitely make sure you go check those out, as well as all the other teams. Definitely give those a follow too, because they'll have all the information regarding when, where, times, all of that.
Right.
Good stuff. All that good stuff.
You know, we started a thing a little while ago regarding motivational quotes.
Mm-hmm.
And I came across an oldie but a goodie, and I absolutely love it because this whole past week has kind of been a what's the point type of week for me.
Oh, really?
And the quote that I want to give you guys is from the famous Vince Lombardi. If winning isn't everything, why do they keep the score? It lets me know that, yeah, keep track of the accomplishments. Don't be afraid to boast them. Don't be afraid to brag about it. And I'm going to brag. I'm going to brag. I got a beautiful, healthy family. I've got a wonderful home. I've got great friends, beautiful, beautiful children and grandchildren. Mm-hmm. This is my time to brag, guys. Work is going great. Recently made a wonderful purchase with my husband, and we'll be taking it around the country. So I'm loving it. So yeah, I'm winning, and it's everything, and I'm keeping score. Thank you, Mr. Lombardi. That's my motivational quote. What about you, Amanda? You got one?
I do. So many to choose from, but my biggest one is never let your fear decide your future. So never let those, it's easy to say, no, I'm scared, I'm fearful, right? That's easy. It's better to put yourself out there, try new things, challenge yourself, and you never know what may come of it. So, yeah. And on that note, you know why I said that? let me just say. The reason I said that is because, as you all know, not that long ago, my son Blake and I had posted a video about a sensory safe place in the Dome at America Center. I did get another update from them, and they are in the process and in the works. It is in the process and in the works. So,
and this is
I'm
where
excited.
score matters. Amanda, take a bow. This was your idea, your conception, your thought, and you deserve absolutely 110% of the credit. Guys out there in the universe, thank you so much for supporting Amanda and making sure that sensory rooms and Blake spaces are available all over. And we're hoping that it keeps moving forward. And who knows, we might be getting sensory bags put together for these spaces so people can enjoy them and it's available for everyone. I love it. Amanda, kudos to you, girl.
So thank you so much. So I'm hoping to have another update for you all soon. I just, I want to just be very clear that I'm just ecstatic to be able to have these experiences with my son. Any experience for that matter, whether it be, Monster Jam, whether it be a UFL Battlehawk game, whether it be, a concert, anything like that. Just knowing that that place is there for these families is really special. So I'm just happy to be just the littlest part, to be honest. It's everyone at the Dome at America Center. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, from our show, from my family. I know from all families, we cannot thank you enough, truly. So
keep up the good work, guys.
Yes. So if you don't have anything further on that note, everybody, I think that that's going to be a wrap.
Nothing other than, guys, tune in next week for your #1 women's podcast on everything football and sports related. We are the A Team, and we'll see you next Woman Crush Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Check us out on Facebook and other social media. And thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you guys next week. Until then, stay happy and healthy, and let's go sports.
Right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.